Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new Airsoft video. Today, as promised, we're going to be taking a look at the Krytac Crb AEG. Now this is a video you guys have been after for quite some time, and if you have been watching my videos recently, you will have seen I have been running a CRB at a few different skirmishes. Now the reason it's taken so long to get this review out is my initial Krytac did have a few issues with the buffer tube and the internal barrel, but since then the awesome guys down at Shield, the UK distributors for Krytac, have sorted me out, and now I have myself a brand new Krytac CRB. Now the Krytac CRB is the carbine in the Trident range. Of course, at one end of the scale you've got the SPR with the 13-inch rail, you then have the CRB here with the 10-inch rail, and of course at the other end you have the PDW with the collapsible stock. Now initial thoughts, straight out of the box, this weapon is a very solid build. It comes with a metal construction, of course, with the exception of the stock, the pistol grip and the flash hider. Now the metalwork on this weapon, if you get it in black at least, comes with a very nice Cerakoted finish, so it's going to last more than a few skirmishes and it should stay looking pretty neat. Now a couple of really distinguishable features that I do like about most of the Trident range is of course the Battle Axe style stock, which can fit almost all LiPo style long stick batteries, and of course the Keymod style rail. Now this is a rail system I am a fan of. As you can see here, I've got quite a few components on there which I will talk about shortly. It's a nice lightweight rail and it does feel very comfortable in the hand. Now before we go into the internals and the performance of this weapon, I want to talk to you guys about some of the pieces of kit that I run on my Krytac. Now starting at the front, as I did mention out the box, these things do come with a plastic flash hider, so soon this will be replaced with a nice metal PTS one, because of course the plastic one, if you hit it up against a wall or something, it probably will get cracked and it doesn't feel that solid. But it does look pretty cool, but of course you want a nice strong metal one. Now moving forward, I have my D-Bal dual camera mount, which was sent to me by the awesome dude down at Brain Exploder. A lot of you guys have asked recently, how do I film my down sight camera angle and of course my selfie camera angle? That is all filmed using this with a dual Mobius camera, one facing downrange and of course one facing back towards me. Now flipping the weapon over to the other side, we can take a look at my Knight's Evolution torch. Now this was sent to me by the guys down at Tinywind, so I will leave a link to all of their stuff down in the description below. Now this torch actually operates on a built-in pressure plate, which is easy to operate with your thumb if you're using an angled foregrip. Now the torch itself comes with two modes. You have strobe mode and continuous light mode, both of which can be switched between with a simple little switch underneath the torch. Now the torch itself actually operates on a single CR123A battery and has a quick release system, so you can take it off the weapon and back on very, very easily. Now because of course this weapon has a Keymod rail system, to get things like the torch to attach, I'm using some small 3-inch Keymod rail sections to allow these simple little clips to be attached to the weapon. Now the torch itself is very, very powerful. It has a good response time when you're switching between strobe and continuous light. It has a very nice tight white bright beam and it is very, very effective. Now as you can see on both sides of the weapon and underneath, I have these GMP Keymod style rail covers. Now these come in a nice rubberized finish with a kind of golf ball style texture, which means they have a nice good grip to them. You can get a good firm grip around the weapon and they fix on and fix off very, very easily. Now finally on the front end of my weapon, I have the PTS Syndicate Fortis angle grip. Again, this is attached using a 3-inch Keymod section. And this is a nice hollowed skeleton style grip. I think it actually suits with the Keymod rail style of the weapon. It's nice and lightweight, and as I said, I think it fits the build very, very nicely. Now moving backwards on the weapon, as I've told you guys before, I am running PTS EPM mid-cap magazines. These are probably one of the best types of mid-cap magazines on the market. This is a 140 round magazine. It has the little window here to show you how many rounds you've got left, and a little window at the bottom to tell you when the magazine is completely full. So they're a very solid build magazine and they do feed perfectly with the Krytac CRB. Now the sights of my weapon, I still have my original Aimpoint T1 sight, which I have had for quite a while now. It's an awesome sight, it's never let me down. Again, that's from the guys at Battlestore UK, which I will leave linked in the description below. But recently, the new addition, probably more for milsims rather than close quarter skirmishes, is my 3x flip to sight magnifier. So of course my T1 has no magnification, so you can shoot targets close range very, very easily. But if you want to engage a target further away, you can then flip this up and look through this sight. Of course it magnifies the red dot 3 times and you can see targets further away. Now I've used this a few times now. I think it is pretty impressive. I've used it on the range and it definitely does improve your accuracy when trying to hit targets further away. Now a few things that I have changed on this weapon and that I intend to change in the future. I have actually changed the internal barrel. This now has a 300mm 6.03 tight bore mad ball barrel, which gives a little bit better accuracy, and of course I have improved the spring. Now because these weapons do come from the US, they do come with a cut down spring, which gives it around 250 FPS, which is a little bit low for UK standards. So I put a Nuprol M100 spring in there, which brings it right up to 350 FPS. Now, as I did mention earlier on, not only am I switching out the plastic flash hider, I also want to change out the pistol grip. Now, the only thing that really lets his weapon down has got to be that plastic pistol grip. A nice rubber polymer one would definitely do a better job. This just feels a little bit too cheap, but of course, once you've got your gloves on, it isn't too bad. Now, of course, at SHOT Show, they have announced the Mark II Trident coming out in the near future, and that supposedly will have a better pistol grip. Now, performance-wise, I am very impressed with this weapon. Of course, it does come with a MOSFET built in on the outside of the gearbox, which means it's quick and easy to swap round. That MOSFET means it's got a very nice trigger response, it's got a nice full auto speed, which isn't very useful when you are only playing semi-automatic. But that MOSFET does mean you get a good trigger response when you are trying to fire off shots as fast as possible in semi-auto. Now the accuracy, as I said, is pretty good. Of course I have changed that barrel, which has made a little bit of a difference, but out of the box it was nice. The hot rubber is good on this weapon, so you're getting nice range and accuracy. I've noticed this is firing out to around about 35-40 meters nice and straight before it starts to drop off, especially if you're using .25 BBs. So overall, I am very impressed with this weapon. You're going to see a lot more skirmishes and gameplays with this thing in the future. This setup right here is how I'm going to be running it at Operation Crypt Kicker in the near future. If you would like to find out more about this weapon, as I said, I will leave links to Shield and to Krytac down in the description below. Any other questions, of course, you can just ask me them down in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, of course, don't forget to leave it a like. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.